Welcome to my little corner in the internet. I'm Nadine. I'm traveling with my dog Marjorie, and I welcome you wholeheartedly to Everyday Alchemy, where I walk the 12-week path of Julia Cameron's The Artist's Way. Journey with me through the mess and magic of life itself. This is week 12, recovering a sense of faith. It's done. This was week 12. 3 months of the artist's way. It's done. Uh, I'm actually like I'm a little bit sad, to be honest. Okay, so hello, welcome. Week 12 is over. The whole course is over. This week was about recovering a sense of faith, and right now I am still recovering a sense of faith. I feel very hopeful about the future, but like a hopeful that is not like a craving or coming from a place of scarcity. It's more of like a knowing it will work out and I will continue on this way. I actually did my morning pages and affirmations and prayer, and I think I did say that earlier, but I think I'm gonna keep doing those because they're really beneficial, and by now they're sort of like part of this routine that I'm in. So I will definitely continue them. I will also try and continue the artist state because Julia Cameron is quite right. If you don't have 2 hours in a week to yourself to just let your creative inner child come out, then something's terribly wrong. So I'm gonna try and keep my artist states too. This week, I'm gonna have my notes here. So this week, I think was part of like just a wrapping up kind of thing. It was about receptivity, trust, and the mysterious heart of creativity, as she calls it. So I think she sort of repeats a lot, and I think that's good. And in me, it established a sense that although I'm sad and although I'm also a little bit worried that this journey ends and I don't know if I will continue this journey, right? Or keep continuing and showing up for myself and for my inner artist without the framework of a course to work through after this long time. It feels a little bit like grieving and loss, and it was actually one of the tasks of this week to write down any resistance, angers, and fears that one has about going on from here. And I did that, and it was 50-50. It was 50% of, oh, I know I can do that and I will do that and it's all right and I know I'm fine and I'm very grateful that I went through this process. Well, it's also 50% of and now and what next, and the fears that you work through within those 12 weeks just culminate and come all at once at you. But like I said, it was one part of this week's tasks was to write down this resistance and also take a look at your current areas of procrastination, what the payoffs are and what the hidden fears are, which I did in one of my morning pages, I think. And it hasn't really changed. I feel like the last task that she sets in this book in week 12 is reread this book, and it makes perfect sense because I feel like it doesn't take you 3 months to work through a lifetime of unconscious and conscious behavioral patterns and thought patterns and then just snap out of it. I feel like it's an onion that you peel layer by layer, each and every time you go back to rereading this book. So I will take a break. I will take a break from reading The Artist's Way and doing the work again right away. I think I need to settle in and just have some breathing space at the moment, because I'm trying to immigrate to a new country. So it's quite a lot, especially because I don't really want to go back to any real job. I need to figure things out first and see and hope. I know that it will work out. But yeah, I think I'm gonna take a break from rereading it again. But my point being is that you can go back to this book multiple times throughout your life. And I feel like you still could go back a few multiple times more, because it's like a layer of onions, and until you get to the very core and then reestablish what you really want to keep and what you want to discard, until you have actually been able to let it go, time just passes. And I feel like she drives that point home with another task of this week, which was peek at week 1 and your hidden fears. And my hidden fears in week 1 now seem flat. Like, I don't know if that makes sense to you, but they seem flat in the sense that I so remember that this really was a fear of mine. But now it's like there's no hiding behind that fear anymore. Do you know, it was the fear of being seen, the fear of not being beautiful enough to inspire people, not being aesthetically pretty to be liked, to look at or followed on social media, and the fact that I felt like I can't be understood because I'm not good at communicating or expressing myself. And now it's like, well, yeah, they were quite absolutely valid, and I know that I had them with me and dragged them with me for a long time. But honestly, I feel like now they seem like a protection shield, if that makes sense. So they seem flat, which is good, because when I started in week 1, they seemed like colossal pyramids in front of me that I will never be able to climb. And now they're like more or less just written down statements that help me back. And I also discovered that it doesn't make sense to hide behind the question mark if I'm beautiful enough to inspire people, because it's actually not about me inspiring people. It's actually about finding community and achieving a life where it's about service and expression. And it doesn't matter if I have crooked teeth or a stub nose, or if my jawline isn't existent, or if I have a thigh gap, or if I have, I don't know, gray hair or whatever. It doesn't really matter how I look. It's not about me, but it is my duty and my job as the vessel through which this consciousness flows to do it justice and bring it to light. And therefore it doesn't matter if I'm considered beautiful by others or not. I thank you so very much that you followed me on this journey, that you took an interest, and I do sincerely hope that you considered or even started The Artist's Way yourself. And I would love to hear about your experiences, because, you know, communication is sacred, and an exchange of experiences is sacred, because that's the oldest thing, is learning from each other through storytelling and through opening up. And I feel like we're in a time and space where vulnerability really is becoming a strength. And I feel like if you feel the urge to share, comment, then maybe this is because what you have to say is needed out there to be seen by someone else. So don't hesitate. Just leap, the net will appear, as we learned in week 1. With that said, I feel honored that you joined me, that you subscribed. If you wanted to support me on being able to continue doing content creation and bringing forth information that comes my way, I will leave you with 2 quotes that I feel like are formidable and a good indicator of what all of this is about. And the first one is by André Gide. It says, "One does not discover new lands without consenting to lose sight of the shore for a very long time." And the second is by Julia Cameron. And Julia, if you ever come to watch this video, I'm very grateful that you put this content out, that you put it in a book, and that this is part of your life's legacy and life's work. We want to do something, but we think it needs to be the right something, by which we mean something important. We are what's important. Love and light, my beloved souls.